Hey everyone, I thought I would go out and kind of take the hit for you and do some grocery shopping. Now, the reality is that I haven't shopped in almost 2 weeks, so the need is definitely there. And many of you do not have the option to order online, do not have the option to have someone else bring you groceries, and you are getting low, you must get groceries. All right, how do we do this safely? Well, I thought I would take you with me and show you some tips and some methods for grocery shopping during the time of coronavirus. Sounds like love in the time of cholera. So your situation may not be the same as mine, it likely isn't, and I don't want to take that for granted. This I'm about to do is based on the fact that A, I have self-isolated, B, I have knowledge that I am definitely negative for the virus COVID-19, C, I drive a car, D, I can get out alone on my own. I'm physically healthy and strong and do what I need to do. E, there are grocery stores nearby that are open and fully stocked. I also have a few other advantages in this situation. I happen to have some rubber gloves at home. Now, I've got a bunch of these because I keep them around for processing California black walnuts because they get ink all over my hands, and so I had a bunch of these in the garage, so I can use rubber gloves. The other advantage is I happen to have a bottle of disinfectant. And lastly, I also have some disinfectant wipes. All of these I had in my pantry before the pandemic hit. I can make use of them now to go out and practice safe shopping. The first store, they are getting everything right, in my opinion. It's a place called Cartwright's. This is in Grants Pass, Oregon. Almost immediately, they began a protocol that seems simply like they care. Before you even enter the store, they have a large, accessible hand sanitizer ready at the front door. Every cart is wiped down immediately after the previous shopper is finished with it, and before anyone else can touch it. Then they're handed out personally to each customer who can now shop with some confidence. And it doesn't stop there, because inside another employee is constantly wiping down surfaces with disinfectant, while a third keeps the vegetables sprayed down. That's 3 people employed full-time to protect us, the customers. Because let's face it, the paranoia, now that we all know that the virus can live up to 3 days on solid surfaces, is that any one of these in-store items had been made icky by someone's COVID-19 infected hands. It continues with someone wiping down the conveyor belt in between each customer. It doesn't stop with the cashier, who wears gloves, and a breath guard has been erected in between the cashier and the customers, along with the now requisite 6-foot distance being requested. This is a good time, by the way, to learn how to pay with your phone. Because if not, remember that the card payment machines are touched by everyone, which is why it's a good time to carry your own pen with a rubber tip on the end of it for using these machines. So here's the thing about wearing the rubber gloves. The virus can actually live on the surface of the rubber as well. Some people argue against it, actually, and suggest using your hands instead and washing constantly. So here I am in my car. I've touched the back handle to put the groceries in. I've touched the door handle here to get inside the car, but I've touched nothing else. So now I can do this. Got a box down below here. Throw those in the box. They will go in the laundry to be disinfected. All right, let's go to the next store. You might have the need to go to more than one store. It's a reality. But what about shopping online for food instead? The truth is, shopping online is at the moment likely to be a lesser risk for you. However, you also want to make sure that you don't then deal with the person who's bringing the groceries, who's delivering the groceries to you. You can pay your tip online. You can have it dropped off. You can go out, you can pick it up, you can use gloves, whatever you need to do. However, the truth of the matter is, shopping online at the moment should be reserved for those people who truly need it, because there's a backlog. You can wait as long as 2 weeks to get your groceries right now. So those people who are quarantined, those people who have health complications, and anyone who simply is unable to get out to the grocery store should be given a priority now. So, whereas on one hand we're saying it's slightly safer to shop online, on the other hand we're saying save that for the people who really need it, at least for the moment. So eventually you do have to go out and you do have to get groceries, and it becomes, as they are saying in the media, what is known as an essential. When you have to do that and you don't have gloves and the store is not practicing any kind of safety measures on your behalf, how do we deal with that? That's what I'm about to go do. The advice here is to go out alone. The less people out, the less virus being spread. Real simple math. If you must walk and you're worried about the carrying load and you would normally go with somebody to help carry the groceries, try using a backpack. If you don't mind shopping alone, try using a backpack. You definitely want to go with a plan, a list. You don't want to spend a lot of time in the grocery stores dilly-dallying, trying to decide, touching things and putting them back. Get in, get out, spend the least amount of time as possible in any location where there are lots of people. It's real simple, really. It's not rocket science. All right, I've just pulled into a grocery store that is not doing anything special to protect the shopper. In this situation, if you do not have another option to go to a place like Cartwright's, then you have to look after yourself and protect yourself. And when it comes to going in this big grocery store, it starts with the shopping cart. The good news about these carts is that they're outside, where the sunshine can help to kill the virus. Don't forget, too, that the checkout screens in the self-serve aisle are touched by hundreds before you, and that includes the little card payment unit. Again, this is where your own pen with a rubber tip can help out. Well, here's an interesting twist. I ran into two friends while I was in that store, and of course we all stood back 6 feet like we all had the plague or something. Guess that makes sense. And one person had a mask on, and the two of us did not. But this is the reality, is you go out to do something that is a necessity, and you bump into friends, you bump into people, and the bumping into part is the part we have to really manage. So we did what we could. Everybody was respectful. We all stood a minimum of 6 feet apart. Just the same, I could hear in the other aisle someone going and it's amazing how quickly that just raises the hair on the back of your neck, and you're like, I'm not going down that aisle. I don't care what I needed. Not going. In any event, I got the most important thing. Okay, one of the more difficult bits of advice to follow that is out there.
In 1,000 feet, turn left.
It's important that you empower yourself. It's important that you have responsibility for your own life. We cannot leave this to governments or any particular governing body. It's up to us to do the right thing here. You've been given the knowledge, or you are constantly acquiring the knowledge as it changes and updates on a daily basis, even hourly basis right now. Fine. This is a time to be edified, to have some knowledge, to not be ignorant, but to be informed, and then to act accordingly.